Welcome back to Old School Sports and our playthrough of Tennis Manager 2021. We are at the start of the clay court season, and the plan for the upcoming several weeks is pretty clear to play in some 80 level tournaments and gain some points. So we're going to start out this week at the Alicante Open in Europe. Next week, moving on to another 80 level event at the Open Barletta. Week after that, plan to take a week off for rest. Then we anticipate hopefully going to spend 2 weeks in a row in Florida, first at the Tallahassee Open, also an 80 level clay event. And then the week after that, hopefully at the Sarasota Open, which will be a 100 level event. Opportunity to pick up some more points there, earn a little more money, but also face a slightly higher level of competition. After that, we're going to take another week off, go back to the training center, and then we are going to do a final 80 level event for the clay court season back in Europe at the Lisbon Open. And then the week after that, we're going to try to qualify for the French Open, which will take us through the final 2 weeks of the clay court season, assuming that we get into the main draw. So that is the plan for Maxime Cressy over the next 2.5 months. We will see how the clay court season goes. Before getting started at the Alicante Open at the start of clay court season, just wanted to show that playing in that 20 level clay court tournament at the end of the hard court season last week, which we ended up winning, did pay off for us. Our proficiency on clay court is now the highest of any surface. So given that our rather Spartan academy does not have clay courts to practice on, I think that playing in that tournament last week and winning that tournament was a good opportunity for us to get more comfortable on actual clay courts before we start playing in the more competitive 80 and 100 level tournaments, and then hopefully the French Open at the end of clay court season. Getting ready to talk to Maxime before his first match in the tournament, and I mentioned in our last episode that the dialogues in this game leave a bit to be desired, in my opinion. Some of it may have to do with the translation from French, where I believe the game was originally created, into English. But, Maxime Cressy is pumped heading into his first match. One of my options to say to him is, prove to me that I was right to trust you. That almost sounds to me like something that someone in an abusive relationship would say to someone else. The abuser would say to the abusee, prove to me that I was right to trust you. So I'm definitely not going to say that for Maxime, and I do enjoy this game, but some of these comments are a little odd in my opinion. Play your best tennis, Maxime. And that made him less enthusiastic. What am I going to do? Well, we've had a fantastic run to start off the clay court season here at the Alicante Open. We're the second seed in the tournament, won our first match 1-4. Then we took on Imanol Lopez Murillo, and we bageled him 6-0, 6-0. Tough match against the 8 seed Mikhail Torpegard in the quarterfinals, but after getting routed in the first set, came back to win that, and then more recently beat the 6th seed Felipe Meligini Rodriguez in the semifinals. So we are into the final against the top seed Alexei Popyrin. He's only actually rated one notch above us in the world rankings, 159 to 160. So both of us will be moving up in the rankings after this event. But obviously got this far to the final, so it's going to be a good event for us in terms of racking up some points for our ranking. But it would certainly be good at this point getting here to hopefully get the victory. He's a big server, so we're going to try to put a little more intensity on our returns and hopefully be able to handle Alexei in this match. Maxime is troubled right now. Hey, you're going to win it, man. But whatever I say does not seem to matter to Maxime. So we will speed through the match and see how it's going. Early stages of the match, we're both on serve, although we've been struggling. Oh, we got a break on him. Hopefully he broke us back, though, and now looks like we could be heading into a... we didn't actually have to head into a tiebreaker. We broke him, or actually held serve that last time to win the first set 7-5. Says we should take less risk and not give away so many free points. So maybe dial down the intensity just a notch on key points to take what our scout is, or our analyst is telling us. We'll go talk to Maxime. He's stressed. Let's try to see if we can improve his confidence. Keep it up. It's amazing what you're doing. So he listened carefully to that. Doesn't seem like he's any less stressed. But we got an early break. We're up 3-0, 4-1. It looks like we are in good shape. 5-1 if we just need to hold serve, and we've done it. 6-2. So we are the champions. The third win of this young season for Maxime Cressy. Very pleased to do that. We've got another 80-level clay event next week, but we are going to start moving up in the rankings with these points that we are collecting in these 80-level tournaments in the early stages of this 2021 season. We are back, and we've had another fantastic week. So we're headed into the finals of an 80-level event for the second consecutive week. We're at the Open Barletta, facing Brandon Nakashima in the finals. You can see we were the top 2 seeds. This will be another huge step for our ranking if we can possibly win this game. But Nakashima is definitely a dangerous player, 19 years old in the world, and he's rated nearly as high as we are. We're going to go in with full intensity from the start. We're not going to mess around. Head right in. Maxime is troubled. Hey, he had a great match last time. Still doesn't react to anything I say, regardless of what I say. He just sits there staring at me stone-faced. Apparently I don't say the right things to Maxime. So 2 Americans here in Europe in the clay court final. And early stages of the first set, we are on serve, but he just broke us and then routed us. So facing a big server, we're already got full intensity on our returns. I don't know. We're just going to have to hope for better luck in this set. Maxime's stressed out. Come on, show me what you can do, champion. No reaction. So the second set, we have got an early break, but got an early break and we're able to hold on. So turn the tables on Nakashima in the second set after he won 6-3. We won the second set 6-3. Very evenly matched match so far. It's all going to depend on a few decisive points, Maxime. Make sure that you're the one who wins those. We got an early break on Nakashima, but he just broke back, and now he broke us again. Big trouble. So a couple of big servers in this match, and we came out on the wrong end with a 3-6, 6-3, 3-6 loss. Going to get back to work after this one. No, you did everything you could to win the game. That's too bad. I'm proud of you. But it seems like, based on my experience, no matter what I say, he's not going to be happy. And he moved from stressed to troubled. So still 2 weeks into the clay court season, and we have a victory as well as an appearance in the finals. So very good start to the season. We're going to be headed back to the United States now to train at the academy for a week, get a little bit of rest, and then continue with the clay court season. Just had our week back at the academy and a very good week of training for Maxime. You can see making progress, particularly on his accuracy of his backhand, his footwork, and his focus over the past week. And with the previous 2 weeks, with the win and the finals appearance in those 80-level events, you can see his ranking has gone skyrocketing the last couple of weeks. Highly recommend that if you have a player kind of in the 150 to 250 kind of range, those 80 and 90 level events where you're typically going to be a higher seed and the favorite in many occasions, is a good way to kind of rack up a lot of points and get your ranking higher in pretty short order. You can see now when we look at our rankings, we're 100th in the world with 540 points. Great 27-6 record this season, including the 3 titles. And you can see that with the strong performance in these 80 level events, some of the 7 point and 15 points are starting to kind of drop out of what goes into our calculation. The difficulty with this strategy is, though, that eventually if you get, kind of into the top 50 area in the rankings, even these 80 level events, winning them, unless you're winning them all the time, you're not going to be generating enough points to kind of continue moving up in the standings. So we are going to get more aggressive as the season goes on into some higher level events. But you can see here with these 4 events from 2021, a semifinalist, a finalist, and 2 wins, we've set ourselves a nice base with a lot of points that will be going to support our ranking until next season. So after that week back at home, we are back in the United States, and we're going to be at Tallahassee and Sarasota over the next couple weeks at 80 level and 100 level tournaments, both on clay. Well, we're back at the academy after our last 2 weeks, which were less successful than the first 2 weeks of clay court season. We made it to the semifinals in the 80 level event in Tallahassee, but then got bounced in the round of 16 at the Sarasota Open. So not as good as the start that we've gotten off to. The good news is we're still hanging around a 100 ranking in the world, and the real good news with that is that we were just accepted into the main draw at the French Open, so we won't have to qualify for the French Open with the strong performance we've had on clay over the past several weeks with a tournament win and a semifinal appearance, plus another semifinal appearance, and then the round of 16 performance that we talked about. So it's been a good start to clay season, and we've got a week of kind of training and practice ahead of us. Then we are going to head out for another 80 level event at back in Europe after this week, and then we will have another week to train ahead of the French Open. So we'll be in Europe at the Lisbon Open the week after next, and then we'll have a week to train while the qualifying for the French Open goes on. So 2 of the next 3 weeks for training and rest, and then we will be playing in our first Grand Slam of the season. One of the 2 construction projects we started at the beginning of the season is now complete. You can see the sports center here is complete at our academy. Our building of the infrastructure at the business center took a little longer than normal. That's still got 20 days left. But the good news about building the sports center is that we now have sprints, upper body, and lower body strengthening as potential additional trainings that we can do with Maxime and our other players. And just as importantly, we can now add a second player to the team, and it also opens up an additional slot for another trainer and another physio, as well as another coach. Well, I'm the only coach, but so good news in that the sports center is now unlocked. We've got additional trainings ahead of us, and at the end of this season, our goal will be to add a second player to our team. We have been doing some scouting of some younger American players by our scout. You can see we're learning about Stefan Kozlov, Sebastian Korda, and Roy Smith. Looks like they're all at a decent level today. Potential varies with all of them, but better than it is today. So we've got a couple other younger American players to put on our scouting list for later in the season after we've fully scouted those 3 players. But the hope would be to bring Maxime back for next season. And now that we have another slot open for a player in our academy, to bring on another young player to continue to eventually dominate the world of tennis. We got bounced in the quarterfinals at the Lisbon Open last week, which was a bit disappointing, but now we are back at the academy and training for the main draw of the French Open next week. Given that we have upgraded our sports center, that opened up sprints, which helps us with speed and reflexes, as well as upper and lower body strengthening, which both help with natural fitness and serve power, and then a little speed and footwork also with the lower body strengthening. So going to work out a little harder this week physically and make sure that Maxine does some sprints, but otherwise maintain a medium workload so he goes into the French Open as fresh as possible, given that he's currently ranked, about 93rd in the world. No telling who he's going to play in the first round. It could be, the number one player in the world. It's very possible that the draw will be difficult for us, but we want to be in as good shape as possible before the big event. And as we're getting ready for the start of the French Open, the upgrade of our business center is complete. So that will also help us on the financial side more so. Building of the store is the big thing that happens with the upgrade to level 2 of the business center, which means our average revenues will be about $7,000 a month rather than $2,000. So we have been steadily kind of losing money throughout the year, despite what Maxime has been earning. But the additional $5,000 in revenues a month should definitely guarantee that we will come out of the 2021 season in good financial position. Looking at our objectives, haven't done that recently. Goal is to keep Maxime on the roster and reach level 2 for the sports center, which we've done. Reach level 2 for the business center, which we've just done. Have a balance above 0 at the end of the season, which I think with the business center now up and running, we will easily achieve. We did end up with a staff member with a salary higher than anticipated, so the board's not happy with that. But I think if we are able to hit 4 out of our 5 goals, we should be fine with the board as we head towards the end of the season later in the year. So our first match at the French Open, you may have seen it briefly show up there, but we'll take a look at the bigger draw. Not surprisingly, Rafa Nadal is the number 1 seed, and not a horrible draw for us. Not a great draw either. We'll be against the 45th ranked player in the world, Miomir Kecmanovic. And then we will most likely have the number 8 player in the world, Alexander Zverev, waiting for us in the round of 64 if we do win. So got a tough match ahead of us right now. We are going to get right into it and see what happens. First Grand Slam of the year. You can see Kecmanovic is 46th in the world from Serbia. Our analyst suggests betting on a high return intensity. We're going to go full intensity everywhere. It's going to be a tough match. We're going to need to put everything into it to get by into the second round of the tournament. Maxime's enthusiastic as he should be. Hey, you're going to make him doubt. Take the ascendancy and beat this opponent. I don't know anyone who talks that way, but that's what I'm going to say to him. And Maxime, listen carefully. So let's get out there and make the most of this first Grand Slam tournament for any player in our academy, and the only player in our academy. And Kecmanovic is up an early break on us. Things are not going well in the first set. Wiped us out 6-1. So need to raise our level of play on key points. Unfortunately, we're already as intense as we can be on those key points. He's still pumped. He's excited. Hey, don't worry, buddy. You're going to get back in the game. We'll see how the second set goes. And again, we're down an early break, which is just not good. We got totally decimated, broken 3 times, have won only 1 game through the first 2 sets of this match, winning a lot fewer points than Kecmanovic. It's going to be a tough road for us, no doubt. He's still pumped, maybe a little bit unrealistic about what we're doing. You've got all the keys to reverse this, Maxime. Get out there. Not personally feeling great about our chances, but at least we didn't get broken in our first service game of this third set, which is positive, and we're keeping it tight. But we got broke there in the final game to lose 6-4, so disappointing that we're going to be dropped in the first round at Roland Garros, but that being said, it's still good for us that we are going to get to cash a paycheck from a Grand Slam tournament. That'll be a lot bigger than even the paychecks that Maxime has gotten earlier this season in the lower level tournaments that he's won. Next time we'll know what to expect, and I moved him from angry to annoyed. So $16,000 is our cut. We get 20% of what he earns, so it was $80,000 for a first round loser. So definitely gave a boost to our cash, which in conjunction with the business center being up and running will be positive for us. So disappointing to be out of the tournament so quickly. That being said, it does give us some more time this week to do a little more training, and then we will be back at the academy next week as we train to finish up the clay court season and move on to the grass season shortly. Well, we've made it to the end of the clay court season and definitely made some big strides. We are in the top 100 in the world, which is one of our end-of-season goals, so certainly feel very well positioned to maintain that going forward. We won about 93,000, or Maxime won about 93,000, and during the clay court season, we went 15-5 in 6 tournaments. So obviously had the one tournament win. 75% of our matches we won. So it's been a good start to the season so far. You can see we're in mid-June, heading into the brief grass court season, and Maxime has had a good year for us. Real excited about the way things are going, and appreciate everyone watching. If you have any comments, would appreciate them, and we will be back in our next episode with the grass season and a kind of a mid-year review of how we're doing after the grass season is over. Looking forward to the grass season, and looking forward to speaking to you again soon. Thanks for watching.